Hey everyone, welcome back to Twisted Guidance Tarot. I am Audrey. I'm here for a Saturday reading. I want to say it's a Saturday affirmation reading, but a Saturday reading. Technically, I'm not on bed rest anymore. I was told I could go back to work. I got some swollen glands on this side of my throat. You probably can't tell because of my fat meat on that side of my throat. But I have some swollen glands. I'm on antibiotics. But I was told that I still go to work. And since I'm an essential employee, I'm going in. But I wanted to do our reading today a little bit different. That's why I'm saying I'm not even sure if I'm calling it a positive affirmation video because it's different than what I normally do. But I think in this moment, I was watching OJC Astrology's channel. I don't remember which video she had put up, but she had said during this time, don't look at this as that you're being forced into isolation. Look at this as an opportunity for reflection. And I want to add to that an opportunity for introspection as well. Like when you look at all the things that we are seen to value now that we have limited access to them. I've seen so many people on Facebook. They may be joking, but it's overly saturated with they can't wait till it's over because they can't wait till their kids go back to school. They sick of their kids being at home, or they're bored out of their minds. They don't know what to do. I've seen so many videos, so many people post similar things like that, and it seems like the negative mindset, it's what's being put out of there, even if it is in a joking manner. That's what seems to be put out there. And I tend to wonder, when you say you're sick of your kids being home, you want them to go to school, why is it that we're not taking this time in this moment to say, okay, this is the perfect opportunity for me to get to know my child more, to get to bond with my child more, to teach them more things about who I am or who our family is, or understand and learn what their values are in life, how they're really doing in school, how a school benefited them. This is the perfect opportunity for us to sit down with those children and play board games and just have fun. Also, on the sense of being bored, like, we ask ourselves, why are we so dependent? Why are we so dependent on outside influences for our joy and happiness? Why is it that we can't be happy or pour joy and happiness out of ourselves to make whatever situation we're in more pleasant, or enjoy the people that are in our immediate space, whether even if it's just a pet in your immediate space? I know because a lot of us truly aren't isolated, for real. I've seen so many people out here on the street doing these stay-at-home orders. Like, what are you isolating yourself from? Is work the only thing? Clubbing the only thing like that? You know, so that's just where my head is at. So I wanted to do a little different type of reading today. I've already shuffled the decks, and so the first card that I'm going to pull out, I learned this method from Kyle Gray that he was doing with Oracle cards, and I figured that I did a few on myself last night, and I was like, this is a perfect walkthrough method. So the first thing that I'm seeing is going to be you or your current situation, you know. So the first card I pulled out, as soon as I get off of this bed, the sun is right in my eyes. There's nobody out here traffic-wise, you know. Thank goodness. Because last night there was a massive, and people were everywhere last night. First card I put out, 7 of Cups. Again, this is you or your current situation. You possibly are very confused about a lot of things right now. There's so much mystery in the air, so many questions that you have, and sure who to believe or what to believe. You're not sure which way to go, what direction to take. This is your current state of being, your current mindset. There's a lot of discombobulation going on. You're not sure where your focus should be. And there's and with that comes anxiety. It comes what's the other word I'm going to say? Fear, anxiety. All that builds up when you have a sense of confusion and mystery and the air of not knowing out there. And that's what I'm seeing for a lot of people. This is general, but this is a general message for the collective. Is where I'm seeing it go. Also, like I'm going to use different decks to help explain each of these situations. Okay. And like I said, because I'm showing that there's a lot of confusion, you don't know where your focus is at, you don't know who to believe, what to believe, which direction to go. The next thing I'm showing is your divine passion. Your divine passion. And this card says, be honest with yourself. What is your true heart's desire? So for you in your current situation, you need to start being honest with yourself to figure out what is your true heart's desire. What exactly is your true? What exactly is it that you want from life or from your family that will help decipher some of that confusion, help you, or what is your true heart's desire, so you can have something specific to focus on as well. I got several decks down here that I'm just drawing from, y'all. I just feel like I'm in this place that I want to not add to the fear, the panic. Okay. So again, you in your current situation, your emotions are running high. And I think that's, like I say, it's a very true statement for the collective as a whole. Your emotions are definitely running high. But again, in order for you to hone those in, you need to really focus on what your true heart's desire is. So that way all the confusion can go away. You would know who to believe based off of what your heart is telling you. Like for myself, I believe that I'm going to pull through anything. So for me, that means continuously follow the instructions as best as I can, live my life as simplistic as I can, and find things to make myself happy so my sanity stays intact. Okay, so my next thing will be focusing on your life in general. And I love the North Node. The North Node normally talks about things that's going to happen in the future. And what you need to do as far as your life in general is to step out of your comfort zone. We are kind of being forced out of our comfort zone right now in this day and age. But we need to step out of our comfort zone in order for us to move forward through life. I meant to do the oracle of the tarot first. The Ace of Pentacles. A lot of us are going to be dealing with money situations because some of us are not going to work. One of my YouTube friends just posted up the other day that her job is terminated. Pretty much everybody based off of this whole situation that's going on. So there's going to be a new beginning financially for a lot of you. A lot of what's going on right now is going to force people to check their budgets. It's forcing people to pay more attention to stocks and investments and how to financially save for your family. It's forcing people to look at their spending habits and what's really needed and what's really not. You know, how can you lower some expenses, get rid of some things you just didn't need at all, stop, cut out like fast food, you know what I'm saying? Going out so much was one of the things that I did a lot. This is one of the things that's forcing us to put that in check in our lives. This is a new beginning financially for us. Also, and with this sense, this is a sense of grounding. It's also in having us check ourselves on a more spiritual level as well. Holly, endings and beginnings, again, for your life. There's an ending and a beginning. Our old way of doing things is changing, whether we want them to or not. This whole situation is forcing us to change as a human race. And there's an ending, but no, there is a new beginning coming as well. This card says the old must be released so that the new can enter. And that's exactly what's going on. What the fuck is this person doing? Oh, it's that person. Y'all see I almost hit somebody. But it wasn't because I'm reading cards, it's because that person right there is not driving. So, yeah, we're being forced into a new time, a new day, a new era where things are going to change whether we want them to or not. Our healthcare system is changing. Like I said, the way we're moving about in the world is changing. But just know that there is a new beginning coming. A new beginning is coming. Okay, so people are driving really reckless. So my next thing would be, what's going to support our happiness during this time? Like I said, we always look at outside of ourselves, outside of our immediate surroundings for our happiness. This is just like a self-check, like I say, introspection, an introspective view of what is making us happy. The Chariot. A sense of freedom. A sense of freedom is what's going to make us happy, is what we're saying. Having choices, we can make our own decisions, so that we can pick our own path, not being forced to do what someone else tells us to do. This is one of the things that is going to keep us happy. This is where most people's minds are at too. In order to be happy, we must be free, and free to make our own choices, our own decisions, our own mistakes. You see how I say I love the way that this method, it seems to like just work perfect. Okay, for this particular card, focused attention. I was just talking about that. You need to focus your attention. That is one thing that's going to keep you happy in this situation. It says keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on your target. Whatever your heart's desire. The very first card we had in relation to this, whatever your heart's desire is, whatever your target is, whatever your joy that you want in life. Like you know, I heard a lot of people saying, Lord, if I make it out of this, I'm going to do. You know, whatever it is. Lord, if I make it out of this, God, if you just give me one more chance. What is it that you would do if you were forced into that situation? Have a focused intention in life, and it will bring you so much joy to focus on that intention and to see the little steps that you can make in order to get closer and closer toward that goal. I think it was something else I missed in that last one. I'm not sure, but we finna. Okay, so I'm almost at work, so I may not be able to do all the steps, but I'm gonna do some of them. 2 cards came out, so I'm gonna go ahead and do both cards. Don't let your past hold you back. With the South Node, don't let the past hold you back. There's a lot of fears that we carry over from our past lives, a lot of concerns, a lot of doubts, a lot of procrastination that we carried over from our past lives. And our past lives could be as close as 1 minute ago. There's a lot of things that we carry over. We need to not allow those to hold us back, especially in these times. We need to focus on how we're going to move forward as a people, as a race, to help increase our joy, our abundance, our emotional state and awareness. And I just said it, work through your fears. You have to work through those fears. Like I say, a lot of people are posting up a lot of the negative things that I'm seeing during this time. And that, in a sense, even though some of them are joking, they are inciting fears. It is really calling up people's fears. And we need to work on the positive things that we can be doing, period, at this time. And work through those fears, disregard those fears. If the worst is going to come, then why not enjoy life until it happens? Why sit there and harp on everything that's causing us great fear? It's just going to give you anxiety. It's going to have you have panic attacks. It's going to affect your emotional state to continuously feed into the fear. Work through them. Work through them. Don't ignore them. Recognize that they're there. Okay, what was my next thing? Obstacles that we must overcome. The Five of Swords. Because the Five of Swords deals with your intellectual state of mind, your education, your thought process. And I always looked at this Five of Swords as an internal thing. Something that we need to overcome. Fighting against our own selves. Our very first card that we had with this deck was the Seven of Cups, with the indecision, the mystery, the unclarity, the unsurety. And that's because we're always fighting with ourselves. We're doubting ourselves. And we need to overcome that. We need to really overcome that. And this is a great time for us to work through those fears and those procrastination and the back and forth in our own head, listening to your head over your heart. So we need to work together, put them together, and use both of those. Use your common sense, your intuition, your gut. Something that we need to overcome. For those of us who are really in a deep, tough space in regards to children, whether you're an educator, whether you're a parent, and now you're forced to be at home with your children now, you know, you are helping those. This is a great time for you to be the leader to them that you can be. And it says you are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use those skills to help children now. That's something that you need to overcome, to work through the uncomfortability, the annoyance of them all, you know. Even if it's just children in the neighborhood, this is your time to be a beacon of light to them. This is a scary time for everybody. Just imagine how our children are thinking or feeling. It takes a village to raise a child. So I'm not necessarily just speaking of the children within your home, but because we are speaking out on social media the way that a lot of us are doing, we are affecting other people's children as well. Okay, this is a new romantic cycle begins, and it's something that we need to overcome. And I'm looking at this as staying in balance and not being so concerned with the isolated state of mind. A lot of us, including myself, like we're looking for a new love, and now that we're isolated, how can you do that? And that actually worries you. Oh my goodness, this just reminds me of a conversation I was just having. I have a relative who is like deeply concerned about being lonely, and this isolation is not helping. Overcome that idea that it's never going to come around. Overcome that idea that love isn't there for you. And just know that once we come through the fire, that romance is still there and waiting for you. I'm at work, y'all. I didn't get through all of these. The rest of them are messages from the hearts, messages from your guides, and things of that nature. But we'll talk about that another time. I want to thank y'all for being here. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace.